Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the post-show live chat, where we're going to be talking about everything that went down this week in Bachelor in Paradise. How's everyone doing tonight? Already seeing some super chats. We're going to get to that real quick, but welcome to the post-show chat. Before we get into that, let's talk about right away the rules. Number one, please, no posting any blatant spoilers in the chat. Of course, any sleuthing is welcome. Anything from any of the official Bachelor or Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise accounts, any contestants accounts, stuff like that, totally welcome. I'm going to do my best to answer any and all questions in the chat, but of course, super chats, which we already see, are going to get priority. Last but not least, just be kind to each other, everyone. And at the end of this, we're also going to get into a bit of live sleuthing if we can, but there's also a lot of sleuthing still to do. A lot of discussion on some of the couples, some of the shakeups in couplings that have happened already this episode. Who's going to last? Who's going to stay together? Are there new couples to talk about? And it's all from the previews. I think we got a lot to say here. But first, getting to the super chats. Right away, Hannah, thank you so much for the support. Was not expecting Kendall to say what she said about Joe and the nickname. Do you think the preview of their combo is still a fake out? So, yes. The big cliffhanger at the end of the week, at the end of this last episode, was Kendall, Joe's ex, showing up in Paradise. As we know, Joe and Serena are a couple, and now Kendall has been sent in to provide some drama, provide some, shake-up. Is Serena gonna be able to handle this? Is Joe gonna want to go back and be with Kendall at all? But I'm still firmly in the camp of no. They're Joe and Kendall are gonna have a nice chat. They're gonna talk about it. Maybe Kendall, I don't know. Well, maybe there are still some small feelings there, but ultimately Joe is going to stay with Serena. And if you need proof of that, there's this rose ceremony from the previews from a future rose ceremony. Maybe it's next. Maybe who knows when it is in the Paradise timeline. Either way, Lil Jon is the host at that time. The next or one of the celebrity guest hosts. We actually don't know if he's next because it could be Titus Burgess. That's the other celebrity guest host other than Lil Jon that's going to be filling in the rest of Paradise. But if you check out this rose ceremony here, you can see over in that corner there, Joe and Serena still together. Serena has a rose, and in fact, Kendall is also right here. The men have the power next week, so it would make sense that this is the next rose ceremony. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, thinking about it, with Lil Jon being the next host, the men have the power next week. So, the women holding the roses would indicate that the men have given them the roses. So this would then be next week's rose ceremony, unless there's I don't know how many rose ceremonies are left. But Kendall is there. Joe in the corner with Serena. He gives his rose to Serena. We can also see some other interesting things in this shot. It looks like potentially Kendall is with Ivan right here. This is Ivan in the white. I know his face is kind of being covered by Lil Jon's hand toasting, but that is Ivan. There are other shots or other frames where you can see it. A few other things in the shot that are of note. Also next to Joe and Serena is Natasha and Aaron, which I mean, doesn't make sense, but it makes sense that Natasha's not with Brendan anymore, as Brendan is going to be with Piper. Piper showing up in the preview as well. Something we were anticipating. Something we'd seen Piper all in the previews a whole bunch. Them two having a relationship, supposedly, allegedly from outside the show. They're certainly going to be together, and and also, Abigail and Noah have had trouble this past episode, but we can see them together with a rose. James and Tia also together there. You can see behind Abigail, and if you've been following the preview breakdowns, you know that Kenny is going to end up back with Mari. Just riffing off of here, I'm feeling like if this is the next rose ceremony, Demi is going to be going home. If you want to talk about possible eliminations, we've seen Demi and Kenny. Demi with a few other people, Brendan earlier, and Mari. But in this past episode, the past 2 episodes, the Demi or the Demi Mari Kenny saga, Cake in the Fire, and all that has been a huge thing. But we know that that Demi and Kenny can't last because Kenny is going to end up with Mari. If you don't follow the channel regularly, we've seen in the previews this engagement shot. That's Kenny's chain that he's wearing. You can also see a bit of his chest tattoo. And if you want even further proof, someone commented on on the last or a couple of videos ago. In this shot, if you look in the corner, it's a different angle of the same shot. I know we've got some pictures covering it up right here, but this is the same shot as this one, just from a different angle. And you can see the woman's ring is also a ring that Mari has been wearing from her Instagram account. This photo here is also from Paradise. Mari's been wearing that ring in Paradise. So we know that Kenny's going to end up with Mari and probably give her a rose at this rose ceremony. But I'm going to move on to the next super chat. Asiya, thank you for your continued support. Really, really, really appreciate it. Every week in here chatting and being a part of the community. It just got a whole lot crazier in Paradise. What an episode. There was just so much going on that my head is spinning. Yeah, a ton of shakeups. On top of everything that we've already talked about, there's Thomas and Becca, who are another couple that, if you've been following the channel, you'll know all of this, is an endgame couple. I know Thomas and Tammy are a thing that, is on the screen right now, but before the season even started, people were sleuthing and talking about this. Thomas and Becca. Thomas from the women or the men tell all with Katie, and him having this blanket and the plant matches the same one from an Instagram post with Becca. Becca's now here. We know that Thomas and Becca go on the that's Becca right there. Thomas and Becca, maybe I can do this. There's Becca right there. They go on a date, so we know that Tammy and him are donezo, and it's a little bit hilarious that Thomas goes after Tammy and hooks up with Tammy after Aaron is connected to her, and then Aaron now gets Becca's rose, and then Thomas jumps ship to her as well. Interesting. But there's that. Like a whole bunch of couples shifting around, and now Tia being added, all that business. This is Paradise. This is the way Paradise functions. You think couples are going to be solid. Ivan and Jasenia, that's no longer a thing. Chris, Conran, of course. There's stuff going around, and I'm talking about it in the recap tomorrow. I've already started working on the first half of the recap, so a lot of it's already done, and so it's something I'm talking about in the next recap. That Chris Conran and Jasenia were this was something that was going around Twitter as well. It's not something I figured out. Chris Conran and Jasenia were actually a couple before Paradise began. So that's why Jasenia was like there's something. There was Marissa said, we were talking about who do you want to see here, and Jasenia said Chris Conran, which is like Chris Conran from Night 1 elimination from Claire season. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. There's something fishy going on there. And Diana, thank you so much for the super chat. Glad Deandra pulled a twist and gave the rose to Ivan, but I'm still on team Ivan for Bachelor. By the way, do you think he will be going home next rose ceremony, or who will be going home next rose ceremony? We can go into a little bit of that. I've already said I think Demi is someone who's likely to go next rose ceremony. Well, we can try to dive in into some of that, maybe with see if the preview comes up in good time for the live sleuthing. Last week it came up in the like final minute of the live stream, so we were able to do a little bit of live sleuthing, but it was later than normal. Normally it comes out at around like 10:30, and we're able to go through that and kind of spend the last half of the stream talking about that. But we'll see today. I've got my eye on that refreshing, seeing if it's going to show up. But we can also at that time go through some of the eliminations. But off the top of my head, Demi is someone who I definitely see going. I guess kind of anyone potentially not in this shot could be going. Deandra, another one that I'm thinking of. There's a few people who on the opposite side of me there. You can see like that's Marissa and Riley. We know Marissa and Riley are a solid couple that's going to be around for a while. Potentially, likely even getting engaged, because I'm wondering who else is this, right? Who else is this holding a ring? Probably Riley seems like the best bet, but at this time I don't have any solid proof, as opposed to this shot, which we have proof for both of the people in the shot. But pretty much anyone who's not in this shot could be it for that. And as per usual, we'll be deep diving into the numbers, into the math of it all, seeing who could be getting a rose and who's not getting a rose. How many people are there getting roses next week? We're going to be getting into all of that. And Lasagna, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Is it just me, or does this season seem even more manufactured than normal? Are you talking about like all the? Well, there's a lot of manufactured stuff. I mean, like, you know, that you have Serena and Joe solid, and then Kendall shows up. Of course, they get Joe in there, and they get Kendall in too. Totally producer pushed. But Jasenia and Chris. We've got Brendan and Piper. It seems like the just par for the course at this time. I truly wish they could all come on the show having not met each other, having no clue if anyone's going to be a match or not. Sometimes the best matches, at least for TV, for audience viewing, is the person who you don't expect, the couple that you don't expect. I mean, there are couples here that I wouldn't have expected. Thomas and Becca being one of them, but John Paul Jones and Tayshia, for example. Not a couple I would have expected, but a great couple, a couple I loved that season. A pleasant surprise. I wish we could have that. But in the age of social media, influencer stardom, I just I think it's just kind of the way it is. And to a degree, I think that's okay. But the really, really pre-planned stuff and the obvious fakeness of like Brendan and Natasha, for example, like I don't know how much Natasha knows or cares about Piper. She's got to know. She knows obviously some, but it's like that couple's not going anywhere, and it's kind of weird seeing them together when Brendan has really no interest in her, and he's just waiting for Piper to show up, and Piper's going to show up next episode next week. So I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way to have it go back to normal, or back to if it, I don't even know if it ever was normal, but to a level of nobody knowing each other. I don't think it's possible. I do believe that there are some people who go on there not with no expectations or no pre-planned relationships, but some people definitely do, and I don't know how many of these relationships production knows about. Probably all, well, certainly all, but maybe they encourage it because they want there to be a higher chance of a successful relationship at the end of the day. So, I wish, and it does. The season does seem areas of it seem manufactured. And Sia, again, thank you so much. This is unrelated to Bachelor in Paradise, but did you hear about Kelly? She said she said that she has Lyme disease. I hope that she's doing well. I'm praying for her. I did see that today. And it's she said something along the lines of she'd not been feeling well for a while, and that she has Lyme disease, and I mean, of course, absolutely, I hope she's doing well, and I truly wish her all the best. I mean, like, this is reality TV. We joke, we laugh about these people, but they're real people, and I like it. You know, we talk about villains, we talk about people we don't like, we talk about funny people, we talk about people we love. Across the board, even though we might joke about someone like Chasen or Carl or whatever, I like no malice should be wished upon anybody in this franchise, and I truly don't understand when people send them like personal hate DMs, like hateful hate DMs. You can disagree with people. Like a show other than Bachelor, where sometimes I get really mad at people. A show that I love, Below Deck, is a show I love, and I get so mad at people on that show sometimes. But what I do, instead of sending them a DM, a hate DM, is I wait till after the final boat, not after the final rose, after the final boat, and when people's like they start to see the viewer comments and they hash it out. That's where I get my cathartic release for people who maybe on the season were getting away with behavior that was that I hated. They get the comeuppance, but I truly don't get the hate DM stuff. These are still people. And SHM Design, thank you for the super chat. Sorry I'm late. When Abigail cries, we write. Yep, Abigail cries. Noah and Abigail are on the rocks. Noah wouldn't even lift his head. He's just lying down for that conversation that they had together. But again, we know that they at least continue on a little bit. Abigail seems pretty happy in this shot, so I'm hopeful for something to come around. So maybe just a little drama thrown in there. They got to do that with every couple this season. Marissa and Riley, I'm sure, are going to have some drama ahead. Obviously, Joe and Serena have their drama coming up right now with Kendall showing up. I mean, of course, and as we've kind of, it's been the previews, but of course, production's gonna get her in there. All of the solid couples. Kenny and Mari, they're having huge drama right now. Every couple always has major drama. every season. I don't think there's ever a couple that just solidly goes through no problems whatsoever in Bachelor in Paradise history. So, Abigail and Noah are no exception. And Kayla, thank you for the super chat. Abigail asked Noah to go slow, so she just needs to make a move on him now. Also, Ivan sounded interested in Kendall for sure. Well, there you go. Yeah, Kendall as well. We see this. I know Deandra gave Ivan the surprise rose, which I was happy about. Because I'm not personally a fan of Chasen or Carl, and I she was showing signs of not really being interested in either of them as well. So throw out the friendship rose instead of the giving it to the bling bling bros. Noah said Noah and Abigail said she's extremely slow to call it in the first episode, to call anyone her boyfriend or anything like that, and she talked about friend zoning and I don't know that Noah seems to also be I don't know, he seems to be feeling a bad vibe as well. I'm hopeful that that's going to change because I like Noah and Abigail. I mean, we'll see what happens next week. Right now, they're certainly not on the same kind of like love trajectory that I don't know. Serena and Joe seem like I know they're having their drama coming up, but they seem like the love couple of the season. Even though we've only got I don't know if they get engaged because at this point we've only got 2 shots from the promos with engagements, but I guess that doesn't mean that there isn't a third or a fourth, but it only at this point it only means that there's 2. So Joe and Serena, they could also not get engaged. They could leave just as a couple. That happens all the time. I'm sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 of those. I Noah and Abigail, they're going to work it out. So, is that Noah in the white shirt by Abigail in this shot right here? Yes, that's Noah, right here. I know, like in this shot right here, I tried to get a shot with as many faces as possible. Ivan, no matter what frame of the shots that they used in the preview, his face is either covered here or here. And Abigail and Noah's completely covered, but 100% this is Noah. This is Ivan next to him with Abigail and Kendall. And Diana, again, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. This is also not Bachelor related, but would you ever be interested in doing a commentary vid on Love Island? Would be interested in seeing your take since their format is different than The Bachelor. Yes, so I have followed Love Island in the past. The main issue with Love Island for me is that it's just on so much. That's honestly like I have no issue with Love Island. I enjoyed when I watched Love Island, but it's on so much. I can't. It's hard to cover. There's so much footage. There's so much that goes down. Sifting through all of it is a lot, and covering it, it's exhausting on top of Bachelor stuff and other life stuff. And all right, we're getting a half hour. I feel like the preview is not going to come up. Not going to come up right away, but we're I'm going to start every once in a while refreshing and seeing if it is going to come up. But Love Island is a show that I watch, but I mean, like it's been so busy that like they've had so much Bachelor programming. I thought we were going to have like a month off season where from September, sometime in September to October, we are going to be able to look at maybe some other shows, maybe Bachelor in Paradise Canada, which has some American contestants on it. It certainly has Kevin went as like the Wells bartender for it. I don't even know if we're going to be able to cover that because Paradise is going to switch back to one night a week at some point. I don't know when, but at some point it's going back to I think it's just Tuesdays because of maybe Monday Night Football, Dancing with the Stars conflicting. So that's going to go till closer to Michelle's season, which is going to start in October, mid-October. And then we're off to Christmas, and then we'll get a small Christmas break, and then Bachelor again. And and then it's just onward, onward. So there's so little time for even like I thought about Love Is Blind had a reunion thing which I really enjoyed watching, and they covered a lot of the info that I did a video last year on, a couple update video for that. They talked a lot about that. There's F-Boy Island. I have thoughts on that as well, which is from the creators. One of the producers from the show was a creator on that, and one of the showrunners or something of Love Is Blind created that show as well. But and Katie, thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you for your continued support. Glad to see you back here. Oh, Jackson is saying hello too. Jackson. Ep. Jackson's saying hello. Jackson, buddy. Come here. He's been annoyed that he was annoyed today that I was streaming. He wanted to go to bed at like 9:45. Sorry, Katie, super chat. Do you think the producers told Kendall that Joe was hitting it off with someone to get her to show up? It's been a while since they broke up. I imagine that they might have. I don't know what kind of briefing they did for her based on the end of that the episode. I don't know the editing or whatever. It's hard to see right as the show is going along. It seemed like she was interested in going straight for Joe to be with Joe. I don't know if she was doing that just out of courtesy or out of interest, but I think Kendall was obviously primed to go on the show well before Joe was with Serena or had a relationship with Serena, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe they knew that Kendall was into Joe, but Joe was not into Kendall at that point, and thus why they put Joe on right away and saved Kendall to come in. And perhaps if it had been reversed, like if Kendall was not into, this is just hypothetically speaking, if Kendall was not into Joe and Joe was really into getting back with Kendall, they would have sent Kendall in first and then had Joe come in and be the the spoiler, quote unquote, the person trying to search for the other person's attention again. I don't know, but I definitely think that they knew because they have to quarantine, they have to set this up, plan this in advance that both people were coming. Maybe way back when they told Joe was going, and then they told Kendall that Joe was going, and so she decided to show up. But I think they were strategic in setting up the timing of this, and that's why we saw the wrestling date last week. Throw in the one-on-one date to solidify the relationship or to boost it, give it a big boost, and then after the next day or so, send in Kendall, cause some drama, and see where it goes. But as we talked about before, Joe and Serena gonna be fine. I imagine what's gonna happen next week is there's gonna be a nice conversation between the two. Maybe Kendall is trying to see if there is a spark, but ultimately Joe's gonna say, you know what, let's leave things, let's be cool, and let's go our separate ways, because he wants to cultivate his relationship with Serena, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Serena. I mean, it'd be tough. Like, imagine you are hitting it off with someone on vacation, let's say, and then all of a sudden at the same resort their ex shows up and their ex is like, I want to get back with them. Like, even if you felt extremely secure in your relationship, it'd be tough. So it'll be tough for Serena, but I think it's going to be good. How old is Becca? I think it said like on her graphic or something like that Becca was 31. I think I saw that on the on one of her graphics there. Becca is 31, I believe. So just a random chat there. And Tammy is going home. That's another one that I think I think that's a good point, because obviously Aaron is no longer going to be interested in Tammy, and Thomas is no longer going to be interested in Tammy. So I think they said either in the preview or at the end of the episode that 4 women are going to go home. Maybe those are the numbers, that there are 10 men. I think it's usually been the last 2 rose ceremonies. It's been 10 roses to give out. 10 roses to give out. This last one they had Tajwan left, and then Becca came in, so it evened out to again 10, and then whoever's left over goes home. So Tammy's another Demi and Tammy are we're kind of compiling our list right here of people who are likely to go home. How do you feel about Piper coming in? I feel like, I have no problem with Piper. I do think it's kind of lame that these kind of pre-planned relationships head in. And simply based off of the previews, we know that Brendan and Piper match up. There's a shot in the previews, which I talked about in a preview breakdown, where like Brendan says something like, the only person I want to be with is you, or I'm falling for you, or some sort of language like that. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but you can see that in the corner it's Piper's hair. He's talking to Piper there. They tried to pair up in the previews a fake out with him talking to McKenna there. That's someone that's going to show up. Hey, there you go. Maybe that's another name that could be next week. McKenna is someone that we see in the previews. There's a few others. So So like McKenna, I don't know. Is she going to be able to pair up with anyone? I'm not sure. So it's also it tends to be a little bit unfair for people later on in the game, as so many couples start hooking up. So maybe McKenna shows up next week. Maybe that's another one. So we have 3 out of the 4 already. Tammy, McKenna, and Demi. Maybe as rose ceremony eliminations coming up. There's a whole lot of Paradise still to come. So we'll see when people are coming in, but we're starting to get there. But yeah, with Piper, I wish this pre-planned stuff, or if if there's a pre-planned couple, I think this is a scenario where I think I'd be totally fine if they're a pre-planned couple. Have them both come in day one. Just have Brendan and Piper both come in day one, and we don't have to have this Brendan and Natasha business where he's like so not interested in her, and he was not interested in Demi, and then Natasha's like, I don't feel like Brendan's that into me, and Lance Bass is like, well, make the move, and they have this massage thing that happened last episode. It's all like, Brendan's kind of like, oh yay, give me my rose, and then I'll wait till Piper shows up, and then the drama's going to begin after that. And I guess I understand why they do it, because, you know, when Piper shows up and they end up in a relationship and everyone's like, told you so, and drama starts, you know, they're gonna get their TV, but have them show up day one together, and then see what else happens. See if someone comes in and disrupts the relationship, or it lasts, and then it's a romance coupling, or all through the season. Or, Bachelor production always gets the drama that they want. They always get it. So they'll find a way to get what they want, with Brendan and Piper, no matter what. So I wish I wish they would do that. Jason lasted one day. Yeah. Not sad about that. I wish they had brought in Dr. Joe earlier, unless they're saving him for The Bachelor. Yeah, I don't think Dr. Joe's... I don't think they're gonna bring Dr. Joe in. We have footage of Dr. Joe. And there's Natasha in the corner. He's on a date with Natasha. So maybe they couple up, but it could also be another situation where he takes Natasha on a date, and then she stays with Aaron or something. And again, we could be talking about this being next rose ceremony. This could be, because the men have the power in this rose ceremony, but this could be not next rose ceremony and not the one after, because the one after that would be the women having the power, but the one after that. They're like, how many rose ceremonies are there going to be in Paradise? Before they get to the decision day and people have to decide if they're going to go to Fantasy Suite. So maybe it's not Lil Jon that's the next host. It could be Titus Burgess from Incredible Kimmy Schmidt. He's one of the other celebrity guest hosts. So we don't know the timeline until we see this. We just know that this hasn't happened yet. So no matter what, the people in this shot are going to be safe. So there you go. Did you see the Bachelor preview? Are they back in the normal house? So the only promo I've seen for the Bachelorette Michelle season is the one where it's like a studio kind of promo with Michelle. And let me see. I can probably find it on one of the Twitter accounts here. It's a studio promo. Michelle is walking through. She looks great, and then like she breaks out into some some basketball or something. I wonder if they have it here on the Bachelor in Paradise page. They might have it on the Bachelorette page. I'll see if I can get to it here. I feel like I saw it on Twitter, but if I can't find it, I can't find it. It's that's the only one. There's no footage from the from the season or anything in the shot. Here, there's okay. Here I can get you on Twitter here, though it'll be the crap Twitter quality. I don't know. Maybe I hope the music doesn't. Yeah, screw it. They got the classroom stuff. I love that in in the shot, the basketball net is like made out of diamonds.
I'm looking for someone who's
but
gonna
this
change
is
the
all
world
it is.
with me.
And it's great. You know, it is a great promo. Tuesday, the 19th of October. Was that? Yeah, that's right. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, October 19th. So it's a Tuesday. Not a Monday. Again, I'm guessing Monday Night Football. Probably is Dancing with the Stars still on. Same reason as Bachelor in Paradise. So I'm looking. I'm really like. Watching that promo and the commercials really actually hyped me up for the season. I don't know. She looks fantastic. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll see. And but you know, like we won't get a real preview. Well, I mean, it's getting to September. Probably, maybe in a couple of weeks. So, when does Bachelor in Paradise end? It usually ends like early mid-September, but or mid-September, but that's when they do 2 episodes a week every week, including the first week, which this time only had 1 episode. At some point, I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after or whatever, but they're going to switch back to just 1 episode a week, and it's only going to be on Tuesdays. So I think it's going to go closer to the start of Michelle's season. It's going to maybe go into early October potentially. I don't know. I have no clue what the scheduling. I had no clue right before this season started that there was only going to be 1 episode on the first week on the Monday. So I have no idea what they're doing, but I think it's going to be something like that. Yeah, Michelle's promos seem better than what they had for Katie so far. This was definitely better. This promo that they had with Michelle, where she's in this like great gown, this studio, this like place. I that's not Bachelor Mansion, by the way. If that's what that person earlier was asking, that's not Bachelor Mansion. But the typical Bachelor Mansion. But yeah, no. As opposed to the Katie just with the gray screen and the Be a Katie shirt on. Yeah, a bit of an improvement. I'm hoping there's going to be an up in quality of in budget. And a few people have said that it's not going to be entirely in a bubble, that they're going to move to another location, which I'm really excited about. Sleuthing in a bubble, especially with Katie's season, got so annoying at times because it would be the same dusty, road background. Having variation, some of the most fun parts of past season sleuthing were when you could identify a European city in the background. I remember there was with Peter's season, we were able to speculate that Natasha, who we see here in Paradise now, was going to make it a certain distance because we were able to find out that a fountain that she was in on a one-on-one date was from South America, like Argentina or something like that. And so we knew that she was going to make it through at least the first half of the season and go to the point where they start going to European countries. And she was in she was pre-hometowns or something like that. And that stuff's fun. And you don't get that in the bubble. And, sometimes it's hard to rule out someone who could be on a one-on-one early in the season and who could be on a one-on-one later on in the season. I from this last Katie's, for example, the thing that I'm thinking about in my mind is Mike P, was it? Mike P? The Virgin Mike. There was a bunch of footage of him on a dusty road, and you couldn't tell if that was a one-on-one from day one or right at the end of the season, and it was right before hometowns. So that can be annoying at times. Just seeing refreshing here on the Bachelor in Paradise preview, which I'm just guessing it's going to be. I'm just guessing it's going to be right at 11 o'clock like last time. Hopefully it is not later. Because otherwise, Bachelor Fan Take will have to go to bed because we're going to be editing more recap stuff. Yeah, there's a Hannah B's Final Four based on architect. They're like all that stuff. They're like fantasy suites. You could guess things like based off of were they in hot weather and were they in cold weather? Because often statistically, cold weather locations weren't something that they did in the first half of the season. I always found like in old seasons of The Bachelor, they wanted to get like people out into the hot weather and into swimsuits like as quickly as possible. And so if you're gonna go to like a European weather location, cold weather location, it was gonna be something that they did later on in the season. So I'm hopeful we're getting slowly back into the regular swing of things with Bachelorette, and we'll see what they do for the Bachelor as well. But yeah, no, we're just kind of we're gonna wait on the preview, see if we can get it. But I don't think there's a whole lot of new information really that's gonna change our minds, because at the end of the day, the sleuthing, the footage speaks for itself. This stuff, we talked about Tammy and Thomas having a fallout ahead. And obviously Thomas and Becca are going to be a thing. Riley and Marissa, Noah and Abigail have their troubles. Now Abigail was talking about self-sabotaging the relationship, and Noah was kind of not, like, he was just kind of like he was there lying down while they were having a conversation like this. He just like didn't even get up. And but we see them getting together, Piper showing up. We know that there's going to be drama, but that the two are going to stay together. Kenny and Mari, we've talked about earlier. This from this shot, you can confirm that it's Mari that Kenny is proposing to, and not someone like Demi or Tia, unless Tia steals Mari's ring. And then there's this that certainly looks like Riley. I mean, like who else could it be? I mean, people can still show up. We know Damar from Tayshia's season is going to show up. We've seen him in the previews before. And yeah, Wells and Connor, they're gonna they're gonna be a lovely match. Even though Connor's eliminated. So there's certain things that they're just not going to change. Like if Kendall and Ivan are actually a thing, I don't think it's I don't know. I find that hard to believe that it's going to be a lasting one. I mean, Tia and James are there, but it's like I don't know. Is that going to be an engagement? I don't think so. But there's also footage with Tia and someone else from the previews. Blake Menard, another early exit from Claire's season of The Bachelorette. There's footage with Tia and him. So again, it's all over the place. Aaron and Natasha, apparently they might be a thing, but is that really going to be a thing? The rest of the couples seem like they could be solids. And we always see when it gets to decision day, people break up. They decide that they're not ready to go to the fantasy suite stuff. It's extremely common. There's always one or two or three or four breakups. From my memory, recapping last season of Paradise, once it got to decision day, it was kind of like just a bulldozing of couple breakups before the 3 or 4 remaining got together and had their fantasy suite, and then there was 3 or 2 couples that stayed together, and then I remember Clay and Nicole broke up. So perfect couple, JPJ and Chicken Nuggets. Yeah, JPJ and Chicken Nuggets. JPJ, doesn't he have a girlfriend now? He has a girlfriend now. So he's not going to be he's not going to be showing up anytime soon, I don't think. Not going to be showing up anytime soon. Unfortunately. So we're just patiently waiting now to see if the latest preview comes up before we go to bed, so we can do a little bit of live sleuthing. But I think the main thing from the preview is Joe and Kendall, and there was a few other things. No to Ivan and Kendall. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna last, but hey, maybe they can throw Ivan's name into the mix. Were Joe and Kendall engaged? I don't believe they were ever engaged. I don't believe they were. I don't believe they were ever engaged. I think that was there was a time where people were going are they gonna get engaged? And then they didn't, and then they broke up. And Joe talked about last episode. It was, according to him, because she wanted to live in LA, he wanted to live in Chicago, long distance, whatever. Didn't work out. To be honest, I still love Kaylin and Dean. Pappy is the cutest. And that's another thing. Kaylin and Dean were an unexpected couple in Paradise. I don't think they had a planned relationship like we so often see, especially this season. But that was the Stagecoach season where there were couples that had previously had relationships that everyone was talking about. And Kaylin was one of them. I mean, Kaylin and Blake, that was a whole big thing. But Kaylin and Dean, and they seem like such a nice. I mean, I like them. I like them now. They were Dean after his first time in Paradise. I was not a fan of Dean. Not particularly a huge fan of Kaylin and Colton's season, but hey. A fan take. Are you surprised at how well Matt and Rachel are doing? Surprised a little bit, because just because of how bad it was at the end of the season. You kind of go, is this going to be able to is this going to be sustainable, or is this going to work through all just the load of whatever? But they're doing their thing. And I all the power to them. All the power to them. I'm not gonna. Do your thing. I'm. If you're happy, no one else can stop you. They're two adults, and they're working through it. Matt is going to shave his beard. Well, there you go. There you go. It's happening. So, all right, come on, 11 o'clock. Let's see here. Come on, I feel like I'm rolling the dice every time I'm searching here. I'm trying to search I don't know. We'll see. We'll give it another like a few minutes here, but we're at the mercy of the Bachelor Nation. Bachelor Nation uploaders who, for some reason, all through Katie's season, no problem. First half hour through. Now they're catching on that we're okay, we got it. Okay, just uploaded. Okay, let's do it. They just as I was doubting them. All right, so we're gonna get into the live sleuthing now. We persevered, and we stuck it through. So we're gonna get on our classic. We're gonna get nice and close so we can listen to all the words, listen to everybody.
It's difficult.
Everybody talking. See, sometimes they throw in the voices and you can't tell who it is. So we get these nice. They get the big earphones on. All right. I'm gonna full screen it now. I was trying to see. All right, there we go. All right. So we're going to do the live sleuthing, and of course, this is just first run through of the preview. I'll typically go through it like a ton more over the course of next. A lot of tomorrow is devoted to the recap, but tonight a little bit of tomorrow night, and then on Thursday when the video comes out, we're going to be doing a lot more detailed run-throughs of it, but this is just first run-through, first impression, see what we can see. All right, for next week of Bachelor in Paradise. And I didn't turn the volume on. All right.
It's difficult for me to not have you be a part of my life.
I don't think I've ever felt this vulnerable in a relationship.
Oh, this is gonna be a problem.
Okay, so we obviously talked a lot about Joe and Serena, Joe and Kendall. Joe says it's going to be a problem. Might be a problem right away, but at the end of the day, Joe and Serena are still going to stay together. This is all the proof that we need. And Kendall is going to be maybe with Ivan. I don't know. I don't know if that's friendship rose. I don't know if that's a real romantic connection or not. We're going to have to see over the next episode or a few episodes or however many episodes it is until this happens. But as we head back to here, we can see another new addition. Someone we've talked about before in the channel. Right here is Chelsea from Matt's season. And then other people we already know who are here. So let's continue on.
Things are turned on their head in paradise.
I'm giving and I'm not getting much in return.
I honestly thought I f***ed it up. I still have feelings for you.
I didn't expect that.
I'll do whatever I need to do to keep us together.
All right, so yeah, she's about to say the boom boom room. They got Kenny's face here. Kenny's face.
You have no one to blame.
So one, obviously Mari saying, I want to get back together. I want to be with you. I want to do this thing. I think Kenny all along wants to be with Mari. I think he wanted to be with Mari from the beginning. And there's a specific thing, I might reference this in a future video or in a preview breakdown, maybe this upcoming preview breakdown. There's a spot where Kenny is, it's the birthday cake where the cake goes into the fire scene, where Riley asks everyone, or Riley asks where's the strangest place you had sex before, and there's a whole other conversation. I think there's another part where someone asks, who do you want to sleep with right now? And at that point, Kenny is broken up with Mari. Kenny's kind of, or he's already smooched with Demi and all that. They had their thing where he was, taking her, consuming her lip here. And in that scene, he says the person that he would most want to sleep with is Mari. Even though at that point he's supposedly with full on with Demi, and these two have broken up. So I think all along he's always wanted to kind of be with Mari, even once they've broken up. So yeah, no, I think Tia. Yeah, obviously we've seen from this shot right here as well that Tia and James are going to be coupling up. So the Kenny Tia thing not gonna be a thing. This looks like the setup for the reintroduction of Mari and Kenny being a couple again. So yeah, there's more Abigail upset. Abigail in the same green swimsuit from this past episode. And yeah, Serena also upset because of Kendall. What else do we have here? Anything additional? I don't know if I missed any stuff here. More Noah and Abigail, which we talked about before. That they're at least going to be getting back together enough to be a part of this rose ceremony. And Bella King, thank you for the super chat. Funny how Demi was calling Mari a baby for missing Kenny when she goes around and does the same thing when he went on his date with Tia. Yeah, there's tons of like I don't know what even to call it, like what goes around this season. Not just with like Mari and Demi, and then like the reverse that happens, like with like Demi being upset when Kenny goes on the date with Tia, and Mari being like, you know, what goes around comes around. But also like Aaron and Tammy, all that drama from this episode where he's like, and last episode where he's like, what the heck are you doing getting with Thomas? Like, how dare you kiss him, when like just the week before he was kissing Serena to explore his options, you know, and Tammy just kind of had to deal with it, you know. The only different, like the difference was this week Tammy had the power when last week Aaron had the power, so it was kind of like acceptable. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. And we'll get I think let's get back to this preview. I think it's about to be boom room time.
He wasn't fully transparent about what his intentions are.
She has no idea what's been going on.
Maybe it was fun, maybe it was a fling, but the rumors are not true.
And this is the setup for Piper coming back. This I don't know exactly what this is. Tia fully transparent about his intentions. It could be Kenny, because we know that Tia and Kenny are not going to be a thing. But you know, we're kind of just speculating here. Either way, this is all the setup for Piper showing up.
Wow. This place is just insane.
And what's that reaction? Finally! Finally! I've been waiting! Brendan, sorry, Natasha. Natasha's gonna have to find greener pastures.
Time we have spent together, I have enjoyed.
Yeah, there's the breakup.
I feel like a casualty in his plan.
Looks like Natasha's gonna rip his head off.
You're a liar.
No, I didn't say that.
There's a storm brewing here in paradise.
See, and it's very small, very short preview. At the end of the day, nothing really changes. I believe this date that they have here, this one right here, this shot, this date is the same date I was referring to. I believe. Looks like. We'll see, but looks like the date where Brendan is saying, like, I only want to be with you. And I'll put all this in the preview breakdown. But yeah, no, it looks like Natasha's getting dropped. I mean, you know, people saying poor Natasha, and of course poor Natasha. But also, we see her. She's got a rose here in this shot, so she's not getting eliminated immediately. Which, quite frankly, I would think she would probably, like, if it weren't for this shot and maybe for this shot with Dr. Joe, I would think that like Natasha could be on the chopping block. But no, she's gonna be around for a little while. We'll see. We'll see if there's anything major that comes up. I don't know. Like if it is Natasha and Aaron, it's hard to buy that relationship right now. I mean, strange things have happened in Paradise, but I don't know. Brendan though, you know, like of course, he's waiting for Piper, and if you know, like on one hand, it's shitty that you string someone along. And Natasha, you know, doesn't, you know, Natasha kind of knew about stuff, but apparently was thinking that maybe there wasn't as big of a thing. But Natasha now is playing from behind. And that's however many days, weeks, not many weeks, but however many days that Natasha could have been exploring a different option. But, you know, this welcome to Paradise. So we're going to go into a more deep breakdown of the preview. For the preview breakdown, we'll talk more about eliminations, but some of the people that I had mentioned earlier that I think possible eliminations, Demi, Deandra, you know, possible eliminations, and we'll try to do the same thing. We're gonna math it out. Math is our friend. Match up roses to people. How many roses are left? Who are the locked in couples? Who are the people that we know are going to be lasting a while? Tammy is another one that could be gone. Again, this shot here, like, not definitive proof, because you know there are people on the other end there that we can't see. We don't know if there are more people beyond the person at the very end in the like kind of grayish off-white outfit. We know she's Marissa because we've seen another preview shot that's Marissa, so Riley's there, and Kenny in the corner probably with Mari. We don't know if there are more people off on the other side, but we're gonna go deep dive into all that in the preview breakdown. For now, it's time to say goodnight. Bachelor fan take has to sleep, and my dog Jackson is really peeved at me right now. He wants to go to bed, but he's such a good doggy that he won't go to bed till I go to bed. So thank you all for joining me for the live stream tonight. Tomorrow, recap for both episodes is going to be coming out, and then the day after that, preview breakdown. And I'm hoping at some point, I'm hoping by next by Thursday, we get an idea of what next week is going to look like. Maybe people already know about it, but there'll be some official posting about whether or not it's a double episode next week. Maybe everyone here knows and I have no clue yet, but I'm going to hopefully include that in the preview breakdown on Thursday. If not, I'll be tweeting about it. So you can follow me there. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at bachelorfantake. Thank you for Think Story for modding tonight. Follow his YouTube channel. He's amazing. He does Ending Explains. Again, thank you all for joining. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.